This video will demonstrate the documentation of high flow within the IEMR. Orders for high flow will be placed by medical officers. The order will be visible to the nurse on Care Compass under the Continuous PRN tab. This order is to be used by the nurse to ensure the therapy is being delivered as ordered and must be checked at shift handover. However, do not select Document, as this will take you to the incorrect interactive view band. When a patient is on high flow, the nurse will place an order for respiratory observations Paediatric, as some of the observations required for documenting high flow are within the respiratory observations section. This will create a series of tasks on Care Compass at the frequency ordered. When the nurse selects the respiratory observations Paediatric and clicks Document, the Paediatric respiratory observations will open for documentation. For the purpose of this video, the demonstration will show navigating to the appropriate location in interactive view manually. Within the interactive view, the nurse will select Paediatric Systems Assessment. Within the Systems Assessment, the nurse will select the respiratory section. Double-click the column next to the word respiratory, and this will open up the fields for documentation. As part of the high flow documentation, a full respiratory assessment is documented. The nurse will document all clinically indicated information. It is important to note here that documentation should be documented by exception, and if a specific field does not apply, do not document within it. Cough frequency and description could also be documented here. When a patient is receiving high flow therapy, the nurse will select high flow within the oxygen therapy field. The nasal cannula size is selected. SpO2 is documented. SpO2 writes both ways between vital signs and respiratory. Therefore, if SpO2 is documented with vital signs as part of this documentation, this information would already be available in this cell. To document oxygen flow rate, enter the liters per minute from the oxygen wall outlet. For example, if you are running 2 liters per minute of flow from the oxygen outlet on the wall and achieving 30% FiO2 with 16 liters of flow through the airvo, document 2 liters per minute in this cell. This cell will add to the cumulative early warning score. The reason for this is that the FiO2 cell does not add to the total early warning score. Optimization will occur in this space in the future. FiO2 is mandatory to document as escalation is dependent on FiO2. 40% FiO2 is the threshold where medical staff consider escalation to Retrieval Services Queensland. The high flow rate cell is utilised to document the actual flow the patient is receiving. This could be 1 litre per kilo or 2 litres per kilo. Humidifier temperature and safety checks are entered to complete the high flow documentation. Now you can sign off the documentation. When returning to vital signs within interactive view, you will note that the information such as the oxygen flow rate, high flow rate and FiO2 have pulled through. You will be required to enter the rest of your vitals in order to calculate your early warning score. This completes the documentation of high flow in the paediatric population. If further information is required, refer to your local procedure for high flow or contact your unit education team.